It was a chilly evening in London, and the streets were buzzing with people rushing home from the hustle and bustle of the day. On a street corner stood a young boy named Leo, barely 12 years old, selling the last of his newspapers. His hands were numb from the cold, his old shoes were torn, but his eyes were still bright, full of a quiet hope that tomorrow might be better. As he started to pack up his small stack of unsold papers, something caught his eye. Lying near the bus stop was a thick, black leather wallet. He glanced around, but the owner was nowhere in sight. He picked it up. His heart pounded as he opened it. Inside, neatly tucked away, were £500, a few bank cards, and an ID. Leo stared at the crisp banknotes for a long, silent moment. That much money. It was more than he'd seen in his entire life. It could buy warm clothes, new shoes, and enough food to feed his family for weeks. He looked up at the darkening sky and whispered to himself, maybe this is a blessing. But just as that thought crossed his mind, his eyes fell on a small photo tucked into a clear sleeve inside the wallet. It was a picture of a smiling little girl, holding hands with her dad, the same man from the ID photo. A wave of understanding washed over Leo. He sighed, a small puff of white in the cold air. This wasn't just money, it was someone's life, someone's responsibilities. He made his decision. Putting the wallet securely in his pocket, he set off to find its owner. He walked for 3 long miles, following the address on the ID card through winding streets he'd never seen before. Finally, he arrived at a modest-looking house and knocked on the door. A tired, worried-looking man opened it, his eyes red and puffy. Leo held out the wallet and said softly, "Sir, I think you might have dropped this near the bus stop." The man's face went from despair to disbelief in an instant. He took the wallet, his hands trembling as he opened it and checked the contents. Not a single pound was missing. Tears welled up in his eyes as he knelt down to Leo's level. "Son," he said, his voice thick with emotion, "I've been searching for this all evening. This money, it was for my daughter's medicine. How can I ever thank you?" Leo just offered a shy, small smile. "You just did, sir," he replied quietly. The man insisted on giving him a reward, but Leo politely refused. He turned and walked away into the cold night, his small frame disappearing into the fog, but his heart felt warmer than it had all day. The next morning, Leo returned to his usual spot to sell newspapers. But someone was already there, waiting for him. It was the man from last night. He was holding a steaming cup of hot tea and had a warm smile on his face. "I own a small shop just around the corner," the man explained. "I could really use an honest, hard-working boy like you." Leo's eyes widened in surprise. "Really, sir?" The man nodded. "You returned my wallet. Now let me return your faith in people." That day, Leo learned a powerful lesson. When you choose to do the right thing, even when it's hard, life has a way of rewarding you. Not always with money, but with something far more valuable: miracles. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Royal Reads, because even small acts of honesty can change someone's whole world.